So we returned from last week's or last fortnight's fairy tale of Elfman coming in and just doing an epic Iron Man punch, basically, or Superman punch to Sarah in the back of her head, and he basically explodes her head and she's dead. So that's basically now 3 demons down. We have Sarah, then there was the one that Natsu defeated, and then there was the one that Wendy defeated. So now we have 3 down out of God knows how many. Anyways, guys, this is Karasi from the Otaku here with a fairy tale manga chapter review of the latest fairy tale manga chapter 382. And honestly, when I read the title, I read it as Alegria, but it's actually Alegria. Possibly it's definitely, because I'm actually going to explain it in this review, it's definitely the name of a new badass demon, and badass it is, and also very powerful. Anyways, this is going to be a little bit of a fairy tale theory discussion review, and at the end I'm going to do an announcement of a very popular anime which is booked to return, hopefully sometime this year or sometime next year, but there currently has been no announcement date. Anyways, guys, let's get down to it. So basically the chapter starts off with the king of the underworld, the king of Hades, not the master of the guild Hades, the king of the underworld. His name is Mad Gear, like Mad Gear. Crazy gear, crazy in the head. Okay, so back onto this review. Yes, so it starts off with Mad Gear. He refers to himself in the third person because he thinks he's just so totally cool and badass and extremely good looking, and he thinks that if Lucy looks at him, she'll probably just fall for him straight away. So we have Mad Gear talking about all of this mumbo jumbo, but the main point that he does bring up, and I love to say it because I was right, this is a little bit of the theory that I talked about I'd say a few weeks ago. I'm not sure, you may have watched it, you may have not watched it, but I talked about it a few weeks ago about the Natsu is E.N.D theory and what E.N.D could stand for, what E.N.D is, and I'm now about 97.95% sure that Natsu is E.N.D. First of all, spoiler theory, I guess you could say. So if you don't want to hear this, skip to like the next minute, next 2 minutes or something like that. But I believe that Natsu is E.N.D because E.N.D, you go watch the video I did, but basically because of the fact that E.N.D could stand for 2 things, either Emperor Natsu Dragonil or Evil Natsu Dragonil, and it makes sense. Also, there's the whole theory, the whole facts with Ignil and Zeref and Natsu that was discussed about 4 or 5 or 10 or so chapters back, maximum 10 chapters back. There was like a conversation between when Zeref just popped out of nowhere and freeze time, and he gave he had a discussion with Natsu about why Ignil could not kill Zeref, blah 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 blah. It's all in that video. But yeah, basically now I'm about 97.5% sure, round that up to 100, that Natsu is E.N.D because of this, because the Mad Gear, he says, we don't have enough curse power to revive the master. If we don't erase this magical power, E.N.D won't resuscitate or resurrect, basically. What I believe is that even though their main goal wasn't the activation of Face, it was a secondary goal to activate E.N.D so that it could eradicate all magic on Earthland, so that the curse magic hidden away inside Natsu would bring a rise to itself to bring a rise to E.N.D, the E.N.D side of Natsu. So we'll just go back and I'll just say that again. So basically, painting a picture for you, we have Natsu. We have Natsu with his magic and Natsu with his curse magic. Basically, Natsu's magic is bottling his curse. So when they get rid of his magic entirely, I still believe he'll have his second origin left, because that is like a reserve backup magic. So once they get rid of magic, Natsu will have his second origin, and then he'll use up all of his second origin until down to his dying breath. And after he's gotten rid of his primary source of magic and his second origin, then his curse magic, which is like just bottling up down inside at the lowest levels of his consciousness or whatever, will then bring a rise to itself, and Bob's your uncle, just, you know, out of nowhere, here will come E.N.D, Master E.N.D, Natsu E.N.D, Emperor Natsu Dragonil, Evil Natsu Dragonil. And that is why I believe he is E.N.D. I'll do possibly a part 2 on that somewhere down in the future, but for now that was my little theory on this chapter, that Natsu is E.N.D and why. Now moving on with this chapter 382 review, Alegria / Algeria. Jokes, it's not Algeria, it's just Alegria. So we have the master, not the master, the king, fucking Margi, talking to Kyoka, asking her all these questions about humans. Who are humans? What is our goal? What are we? So basically, she answers that we are Aetherius. Our goal is to get rid of all magic on Earthland, and we fucking despise humans. The ants are disgusting. Like, you know, you are talking to us. We are reading your manga. You're basically like insulting our race, you know. Moving on. Then he's not very satisfied with Kyoka's answers, and he ends up tying her up in what looks to be some bondage type manner. So Kyoka, get ready for some rape time, because you're about to take it all from fucking Madgi. I keep forgetting his name, Madgi. It's not a very like great name that they could have thought for the king of Hades. I know, I thought it would have been something more badass. All the other names like Zeref and Kyoka and Seira, they're all kind of like, I don't know, Latin names, kind of, I guess you could say, and they all have their own little kind of uniqueness to it, which makes them memorable. But Mad Gear just sounds like a mad gear. But anyways, moving on. So, we have Margi saying to Kyoka that all of you other demons, all of you other curses, all of you other Aetherians, Aetheriuses, you're all just pitiful, so I should basically just release Alegria. And now we have this new demon foreshadowing Alegria. Who is Alegria? What is Alegria? And then they basically reveal it to us within the next 3 to 4 pages. So moving on after that, we have the telepathy guy from Fairy Tail relaying information to everybody in Fairy Tail that they have saved, what's her face, the girl that was battling Sarah, and they saved Elfman, and they saved Lysana, and Mira, that's her name, Mira, yeah. So they saved Mira, they saved Lysana, they saved Elfman. So basically that whole family, you know, the happy family, they've all been reunited together again, and they're all happy and shit. So that's great. So then we have that, and then we have Happy Tell, the master from Fairy Tail, that they met the soul of Master Hades himself. And Hades said to the Master to release the light, and Makarov, he's basically like, Lumen Histoire. What do you mean, Lumen Histoire? It's like, ever since we brought a rise in Fairy Tail to Lumen Histoire, everybody has been theories about it, like, what the fuck is Lumen Histoire? Like, Lumen Histoire is just like basically another as big as a conspiracy as the day the dragons went by, because they only discuss it every once in 100 chapters or once in 35,000 episodes, which is just like, come on, seriously, we want to see more, we want to know more. And it's probably all going to come to a revelation or an end or something like that within the next 15 to 35 episodes, I would say, give or take. About a year's worth of chapters, I reckon we will have a conclusion to what is going on. That being said, this is more than most likely the last arc of Fairy Tail. Pretty sure it is. I'm pretty sure it was stated somewhere that this is the last arc of Fairy Tail. Moving on from there, we have Margi interrupt that transmission saying, none of you will remember all that, you're all going to die, I'm going to raise Alegria, so you all just, better just sit the fuck down, because you're all about to die, so just, start crying, hugging your loved ones, etc, etc. So then we find out that Alegria is actually the cube that is floating around in the air. The cube that everyone is on is actually Alegria. So then Alegria basically metamorphoses or just changes its shape into something a bit more demonic, and basically it solidifies everybody, enemy and friend and foe, that is inside the cube, and it just solidifies them. And we can assume that they're possibly still alive, because that would be pretty boring, I guess you could say, if everybody just died, except the only survivor is Lucy, and she's like basically butt naked. So like I was saying before, throw some fucking clothes on Lucy, because basically every 10 to 15 chapters we have to see Lucy half naked. Like, seriously, you could just fucking make a Fairy Tail X-rated shonen or some side story, but for now, just throw some fucking clothes on Lucy, please. So then, yeah, with Lucy alive, we have Margi stating that there was a 1 in 1 billion chance of Lucy's survival, so that was either some very, very good luck or some very shitty bad luck, because she's either going to save all of Fairy Tail and then Margi is going to get absolutely fucked, or she's about to die and all of Fairy Tail will get absolutely fucked. So either way, there's going to be some epic shit going on within the next few chapters of Fairy Tail, because the only character that is still going on in Fairy Tail is Lucy. So like, Natsu's gone, then, well, they're not gone, they're just solidified. We have to wait for the heroine, Lucy, to come and, save them. So yeah, we have, in this chapter, the chapter was, overall, it was, I'd give it about a 7.5. just due to the fact that, like I have been saying, throw some fucking clothes on Lucy, because every single 10 to 15, 20 chapters, whatever, there has to be just, you know, one character, Lucy, Urza, Wendy, or whoever, just one female character half naked every single time. Seriously. Like, I don't know if you've got these fantasies or whatnot, but you can make your own side, Jonin, Shonen, whatever, XXX fairy tale. I'd probably read it. I probably won't. I don't know. Who knows? But yeah, it's an idea. XXX fairy tale. We don't want that shit in real fairy tale. Well, I don't, anyways. Oh, and I forgot to mention as well the what Alegria looks like. It looks like a badass, basically gigantic demon spider. Obviously, it's the size of the massive cube, so it's obviously fucking gigantic. And that's what Alegria is. So yeah, all in all, and the name of it is Pluto Grim. I don't know if it's Alegria or Pluto Grim, but I guess it's got two names or something like that. But we find out from the curse magic eye slayer that Alegria actually means happiness. So what its goal or whatever it is, it's so he says the Alegria of becoming a part of it, the happiness of becoming a part of it. He's using such boring curses, so we know that that it's a male demon, and that this ice magic slayer demon does not approve of it, and he was obviously prepared because he was obviously one of the very few people, well, him and Lucy and Margir are the only ones really that did not get solidified by Alegria or Pluto Grim, whatever you would like to call it. But yeah, all in all, it was a really great chapter. That was my theory about Natsu being End, and we found out about a new demon called Alegria, and then the announcement that I have to make of the new anime returning, I don't know, probably sometime end of 2014, midway 2015, not 100% sure because we haven't really got a lot of information. Durarara Season 2. Yes, Durarara Season 2. Just a little, I'll read about a little bit of what I have heard. So basically, it's the same cast and staff of Durarara. So the anime franchise has announced at Denki Game Festival 2014 on Sunday, ages ago, that a new Durarara television anime series is in the works. The story takes place half a year after the first series at Tokyo's Ikebukuro neighborhood, but the broadcast date has not been announced, so boo! The main staff is reuniting, so awesome. Brain's Base is not credited. I have no idea who the hell they are. When I watch anime, I just watch anime for just like because it's awesome. Don't really I don't really pay attention to who made the anime and whatnot. But anyways, yeah, Brain's Base is not credited. I don't know if I should be like, oh, or I should be like, yay, but whatever. So Takahiro Omori is directing the Durarara Season 2, and what else do we have on it? It says that Durarara Season 2 novels with the art of something something have inspired multiple adaptations, including a television anime in 2010, multiple video games, etc., etc. Lastly, we have the new anime as part of the 10th anniversary of Durarara. The second arc of Ryuhogo Narita's original Durarara light novels will be set 2 years in the story's future under the title Durarara SH. The first Durarara SH volume will ship on April 10. So yeah, anyways, basically just a summary. New Durarara coming out possibly sometime late 2014, early 2015, mid 2015, who knows, give it a year and a half time. Not 100% sure. It will be set, it will have the same cast and crew, and it will be set a year and a half to 2 years after the original series Durarara. And it'll be awesome. Personally, I found the first Durarara a little bit average. It kind of stopped getting a little bit interesting after the first 12 to 13 episodes, and they really never elaborated on the most mysterious character in the entirety of Durarara, that being Izaya. Hopefully we get more of Izaya in this new series. Anyways, guys, I have talked on for way too long, and thank you for listening. I am Koshi from the Otaku Lair, and this was my fairy tale chapter manga review theory, review, discussion, and announcement on Fairy Tail Manga Chapter 382, Alegria. Leave any thoughts, comments, queries, anything you might have in the comment section below. If you'd want to talk to me in person about any type of animes, mangas, recommendations, reviews, anything like that, feel free to follow me on Google+, and we can just hang out. But as always, guys, thank you very much for watching.